This is Devin White, linebacker for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You're listening to the LCC Network. Go Bucks.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Commissioner's Clubhouse and the LCC Network for week 5 of the 2020 season. We've got some pretty cool stuff. We're mixing up. We took out the news and notes for this week. It just seemed like it was kind of getting repetitive and we kept talking about the same stuff anyway, so we nixed that. We got Cody on the show like always, but we got Jameson back on the show, and we have a celebrity guest for our pick'ems as well. What's going on, you guys?
I'm good. Jameson, how you sleeping, buddy?
Not much, but I'm excited to be back on the show, at least for this week. We'll see how it keeps going in the season here. Yeah, I'm excited to be back, guys. So I guess we can run into these things real quick before we jump into a lot of the game previews and stuff like that. Pat had a segment this week that he wanted to run through this week in LCC history. Pat, do you want to give us a brief history lesson of what was happening this week in LCC history?
I would love to do that. Let's see here. I'm pulling it up right now. And by the way, this took a little bit of work to go through. I was like, what's going to be our first one? We do not that we're necessarily going to do this every week, but there's so many moments you could talk about. So what I went with, since we got a couple teams that have moved on to 4-0, looking at going on to 5-0. I figured we'd talk about the first time we ever had a team go 5-0, and actually probably 4-0 as well. Let me get this music going in the background. Hang on. Otherwise, it's just not as epic. So story time here. Back in 2011, we had the this music make me laugh. Back in 2011, we had the afternoon delights as Jordan became the first team. I can't do this without laughing. In league history to start the season 5-0 after defeating Masturbate and Tackle. That's Ryan. He beat him 111 to 77. Now the interesting thing about this is that Ryan was 2-3 after that week, but ended up winning the Little Critter Bowl. Jordan made the playoffs as the 3rd seed and lost in the first round to the Spurs, 157 to 115. Now, the interesting, though, is that the Spurs ended up playing Ryan in the championship. So, that was perfect timing as the music kind of faded away there. I got kind of loud. I wonder if people can even hear me over that music.
I didn't mean to laugh, but I felt like I was in a museum. And you're standing in front of one of the displays and playing music, and someone's narrating what happened in an epic battle.
I was trying not to laugh too because it just seemed so serious, which is so not like us at times. But yeah, that's this week in LCC history back in 2011.
All right, very very cool. We'll have at least one other team go 5-0 as we have 2 4-0s this week. Just a little preview there. All right, real quick before we move on to we're halfway through the regular season at this point. Four games in the books. 2 things I wanted to mention. One, normally at this point in the past we've done a what we've learned so far. We do one of those in the off season, and we've done them in season. And something I've learned so far, and you guys can agree with me or not, whatever your thoughts are.
I'm disagreeing.
Is that to some of the points we had in the offseason about safeties and DBs, I don't know if they matter at all anymore. You know what I mean? I've seen so many teams drop all of their DBs or flip their entire DB roster and still be just as good or better. I'm starting to wonder if it's even worth taking DBs in the top 6 rounds or anything anymore. You know what I mean? I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on that.
Bro, I've been
preaching there's still guys. Do what?
So I've been preaching that for years.
So Cody's on board, obviously. But there's guys right now in ad drop that are averaging 37 points a game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That are available right now. They're fairly consistent. They score 53 and then 31, and they're not like these huge boom and bust things. Like, I don't know if it's even worth picking DBs anymore. Like off the waiver wire in drafts or anything.
I don't know if
So
it's.
I don't know what your guys' thoughts were, but
To me, it's not necessarily. It's not worth it. It's that they vary so much week to week, and I think that's it. And because that makes it so hard to predict who the top guys are. I mean, perfect example. There's a guy who's ranked top 25 overall in all players, offense, defense, who's a free agent right now, and I guarantee someone goes and picks him up after they hear this. Brian Poole, cornerback for the New York Jets. His lowest game this year so far is 25 points. His highest, 54. If that tells you anything, the difference. I mean, it's literally double in points. And there's so many, like Marcus May. He's a top 3 DB this year. We didn't even barely talk about in the offseason. Another guy we definitely didn't talk about, Josh Jones, safety out of Jacksonville. I went and picked him up because I saw after they got rid of Harrison Smith. Not Harrison Smith. Listen to me. Jesus Christ. No, but I mean, Ronnie Harrison. After they got rid of him, I went and got Josh Jones because I knew that was the only other safety they had. But anyways, I think that's more of it. It's just that it's so hard to predict who's going to be the top guy. I mean, we saw Jeremy Chin go from supposedly playing strong safety in the Panther defense to really he's just an outside linebacker now. Safeties get moved to cornerback and vice versa. So I think it's just things change so drastically night and day at that position.
Yeah.
I think you say more of a week to week. I more say like a year to year. Like I think it's not worth drafting because you never know who's going to be on top like year to year outside of maybe a handful of guys, like 3 or 4 guys, because Jordan Poyer's probably the number 1 DB right now, and everybody could have probably guessed he was a top 5 guy. I think he was in all of our top 5s. And I think that's what makes it so like random is the year to year. And for me, I don't really mess with corners too much, but I'm finding a lot of value in the slot corner for a lot of teams just because that slot corner's asked to do so much. And he's also, most of the time, he's around, like he's still in the box just based off of what that receiver is doing. Like most of the time they're doing short routes, like over the middle or something like that, or doing like quick cutbacks and things like that, while the outside guys are being asked to rip deep. And then they're being asked to blitz and all that. So I don't know. I'm finding a lot of value in like slot corners over anything at this point in time.
Yeah, they're not slot corners, but 2 of my DBs are corners playing opposite of a stud DB who's already been paid. Marlon Humphrey. I mean, Marlon Humphrey's great. He was extended, but playing opposite Marcus Peters. And then Troy Hill in the Rams playing opposite Jalen Ramsey. Right, on 2 good teams where the teams they're playing against have to throw the ball, right, to catch up. So, I don't know. We talked a lot. We gave cornerbacks a lot of shit, but I mean they're actually proving fairly, effective this year. So yeah. I look forward to seeing how that's going to change.
Yeah. Another guy like what you just said is Mike Hilton. Like I've had like a lot of I picked him up and he had 50 points and then he had the bye week last week based off of what Tennessee did. And I think he's 9 overall right now with a bye week. And nobody else has really had a bye week. So like, I mean, he would have probably been in the top 5 had there not been a bye week for him. But he's another guy, man. He's just asked to do so many little things. And he's asked to play up on the line. He's asked to blitz. He's asked to cover slot corners. I mean, he can do it all because he's going to get the picks. He's going to get a few sacks. I think he's already got multiple sacks this year. He got multiple tackles for loss. I think he's got 1 pick. You know what I'm saying? A couple batted balls. Like it's just he's asked to do so much in so many different ways that it's helping really fantasy wise.
Speaking of fantasy players that have kind of come out of nowhere, do you guys have, just very briefly, we don't have to go super in depth, do you guys have like a quarter season fantasy MVP? Like a guy that maybe he was overlooked, wasn't drafted high enough, has outperformed his draft stock, or just generally like leading fantasy teams to victories right now? Anyone that just kind of pops?
That was mine. That was mine too.
I mean, give me a break. Did any of us have him in the top 5? Did any of us have him?
No.
I don't know if we had him in the top 10, like, or maybe he was just like right there for us. I mean, that's whew. That guy's been killing it.
Yeah, he has.
You said Josh Allen?
Yeah.
Thurston? Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think in fact he's scored the lowest he scored was 43, and that was last week against the Rams. Before that, he had not scored less than 53 fantasy points in the LCC this year. He is. He might be the fantasy MVP, especially with all these guys going down. CMC and Saquon Barkley and whatnot. What about anyone on the defense? I know Cody, you mentioned like Mike Hilton has kind of come out. Anyone else that you guys have seen that you're like, wow, this guy is? I mean, John Bostic has had like a weird resurgence that I was not expecting this year.
Yes, big time.
Isn't he like 47? I don't know how old John Bostic is, but
No one
playing
ranked
well.
him. No one ranked him.
Yeah, not even ranked. So that's fun. I look forward to doing our end of season fantasy MVP stuff. All right, Pat, let's jump into the game of the week. Let's play a sound drop to get us in.
All right, let's do it. Let me get over here and do this. One more second. Hang on. Yeah, we're almost there. We're almost there.
Not as flawless when Pat's running the sound.
No, definitely not. All right. Game of the week. We got 2 4-0 teams, guys. 2 4-0 teams here. Eastside Brawlers. Don't have a sound drop for him. And Slapdicks, the other team. And we don't have a sound drop for him, but I bet we could easily get one just for YouTubing Last Chance 2. I guarantee you we could find something.
Yeah, we could do something.
Yeah, the only thing is, I don't think most people realize we can only have, based off the software we use, we can only have 10 sound drops on there at once. So we have to be very selective of what we put on, and we have to think ahead of time. Okay, what might we talk about? What could we use? So we could have a sound drop for everyone, but obviously we're not going to be able to play them all. Anyways, first game.
Not everyone deserves a sound drop. Patrick.
That's true too. That's very true.
Cold hard truth.
That is.
It has to come naturally. Like we can't force it. It has to come like you have to be given a nickname on the show at one point, like Dirty Mike and the Boys. You know what I mean? Like it has to come naturally. You can't force it.
That's true. In terms of history, guys, there's actually none. Slapdicks, Eastside Brawlers have never played each other. Not that Big Oss has been in the league very long. But I would have thought they'd play each other once by now, but this is actually their first meeting ever. If that tells you anything. One interesting fact, though, Eastside Brawlers finished regular season last year at 7-5. They're 4-0, only 3 games away from matching their wins for last season. Whereas, if we scroll down to Slapdicks here, I want to say, oh man, hang on, let me, I gotta get down here for a second. Here we go. He's 4-0. He won 3 games last year. He's already surpassed what he did last season. And only 3 games away from what he did his rookie season when he went 7-5 and made the playoffs. So, I don't know. This is definitely the best start for Big Oss. I feel really good about his chances this year. He's already, because of this season alone, already at 500 in his all-time regular season winning percentage, which is pretty cool.
So Pat,
yeah,
you still there? So, who are you taking like matchup for Like, who are you gonna pick then in this game of the week showdown to 5-0?
This is gonna be an interesting game because both teams have had an explosive year. We talked about a little off the show about how my dad's and Big Oss's team have the 2 highest scoring wide receiver cores in the league. That's because they've been flexing the receivers in some weeks, and both of them have good enough receivers where they can pull that off. Very few teams have that capability, but these 2 teams in particular have that ability. I think one of the big things, Cody mentioned it off the show, though, is the regression of Ridley in Atlanta. And they're playing against Carolina. Surprisingly, Carolina's defense has been somewhat decent in the pass game versus the running game. I think Atlanta's actually going to try to pound the rock against Carolina this weekend. I'd be surprised if they truly try to air it out. But when I compare them, Miles Sanders versus Mark Ingram, Brady and Russell kind of cancel each other out. Gallup, Ridley, I feel like Ridley still has a better shot there. Defensive line, Cameron Jordan's better than Kerry Hyder. Vontae David, great season. John Bostic, like you said, great season. The difference here, I think, is going to be the flex play. And right now, Big Oz is flexing in Eric Wilson at the moment, whereas my dad's flexing either John Bostic, Blake Martinez. You pick which one's better. I mean, they're both pretty good this year. I'm going with Eastside Brawlers in this matchup.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go Eastside. Just I think he's the more complete team overall. Slapdicks is gonna have to get big games out of the usual suspects. Levante is gonna have to have a big game. I think Ridley cannot go 0 points again. If he does, it's over. And I still, at the end of the day, I still worry about Slapdick's running backs and the production he's getting at running back. But maybe the big play of Russell Wilson and Levante David and things like that can take him over the top, and maybe Calvin Ridley bounces back after week 3 was kind of middle of the road, and then obviously the 0. I know he's been dealing with the injury, but I think it's definitely going to be a close game. But I'm going to go Eastside Brawlers.
Cool. Well, that is the game of the week prediction. So I look forward to it. I mean, we're gonna have a 1-5-0 team for sure. So
Faux show.
Faux show. And then we can crown them. Whoever wins that game, we can crown them.
Oh, let me get the sound drop. It's my chance. It's my chance.
If you want to crown them, then crown them.
I'll forget to play these as we go, I'm sure. So, it's a ritual at this point.
11 more matchups. 11 more matchups to run through. We'll get through these. Pat, how's our time? Where are we on time?
We are at 16 minutes and 25 seconds of counting.
Okay, so we still got a little bit.
Yeah, we're doing good.
Yeah. We're making good time. So let's go through these 11 games here real quick.
Which one are you starting out with? Just so I know which order we're going in.
Hunter.
My app, I'm on my app. Yeah, it's different than you guys. Actually, it might be the same. Hunter and Daquan, and then Peyton and Charles. Is that how it looks for you guys?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll go in that order then. All right, so Hunter and Daquan matching up. Projections have them both pretty high. In fact, around 200, only a few points apart. Daquan sitting at the bottom of the division. I think Hunter is 3-1. I think, if I'm not mistaken. Perpetually been a great owner in the league. What are the thoughts here?
Well, I think it's interesting. It's interesting. The quarterback situation is night and day difference, but the running back situation.
Hunter's 1-3. I'm sorry, he's lost the last 2 games.
Yeah, he has.
Even though he's scored over 800 points, he's lost the last 2 games.
Yeah, he started off kind of with some bad luck. I feel like, honestly. But James Robinson versus David Johnson, I kind of like James Robinson's matchup against Houston this week. I think he could have a good week. They just lost their head coach. I'm interested to see, just in general, where the Texans' headspace is after that huge change this early in the year. There's obviously a culture shift going on there in Houston. But I'm going to give this, honestly, to the more I look at it, I'm actually going to go with Daquan in this matchup.
I'm actually going to go with Hunter.
Ooh.
I'm going to go. It's very, very close for me. I'm actually going to go with Daquan in this one as well. I like the offense a little bit better, and I really love, TJ Watt coming off the bye and Jeremy Chin. I mean, I just like some of the defense there too. So I could see it going either way, but I'm going to pick Daquan. And what some people would consider an upset in previous years.
Yeah, I just think Lamar Jackson versus Cincinnati is just too good to pass up. And I also like Alden Smith versus New York. I think that line's trash. And look at Hicks is going against the Jets. I like a lot. I like his matchups.
Just so you guys know, the series. I was going to say real quick, the series is split 2-2, by the way. This will be interesting. Whoever wins this has the tiebreaker overall. Daquan won the last two, but Hunter won the first two. It'll be interesting. They've had some good matchups over the years.
Sweet. Well, I look forward to that one. Next matchup here, Peyton and Charles. Projections are pretty far apart, about 33 points with Peyton. That's crazy. So you normally can't rely on projections too much with the actual score, but when there's a big gap in the projections and the differences, that's actually been fairly reliable on predicting the winner in the past. So it has Peyton winning by a large margin here, being led by, of course, Josh Allen, like we talked about. I mean, I'm looking at these two rosters very briefly. I don't even know half the guys on Charles' team. Kazir White.
He's pretty
I
good.
guess he's a Chargers. Oh yeah, he actually has been pretty solid.
I think he's their
39,
weak side
38,
linebacker.
24.
I'd almost added him off
Chase
ad drop.
Edmonds. Is Chase Edmonds starting? No, he's not starting.
No, but I could see him
It
getting
looks like
some
he's
playing
more work than
time.
Kenyon Drake.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. That's interesting. Man, I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at these teams here. I think actually they look pretty evenly matched. I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts?
Charles gets crushed.
That's so
God.
easy.
He gets crushed. No chance. No chance there.
That's what the app says. I mean, I'm gonna go with a project. Like I said, it's been fairly not at the score, but like if it's a gap that big, it's usually been a pretty good indicator. I'm gonna pick Peyton in that as well.
So who'd you pick, Pat?
You know, I'm not. I actually think that's more even than the website's predicting. I think it's gonna be a lot closer than this. Sure, I'll go Peyton, but I think it's gonna be a relatively close game. They played each other once before, by the way, back in 2018. Peyton defeated him 305 to 256.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, before we move on, I both of you have forgotten. Jordan, who are you picking?
I'll take Peyton.
We forgot. Hang on, we gotta play the sound drop. We gotta play it.
See, I didn't forget. I just didn't know when we were bringing Jordan in. Like if it was gonna be for like one at the very end, or if it was gonna be for every pick.
Every Jordan, who do you have the other pick? By the way,
Hunter Daquan.
Daquan.
Daquan,
Primetime player.
primetime player.
All right, so let's not forget to make sure we check with Jordan on these full attacks on.
I wasn't sure what he thought there.
Okay.
Beg for G-Reg and Mufasa moneymakers. I don't even have to look at the team here to say this is gonna be BP. He's gonna win. He leads the league in scoring. He's been absolutely dominant. I think Mufasa is a great fantasy owner, but I don't know what's going on with this. Like every time I open my email, I've got like 9 emails with Mufali like making transactions. Like I don't know. Like I know he traded away Dak Prescott. I mean, so it's to me it's clear that I think he's trying to build more for the future at this point. I don't know.
Definitely.
But I think BP runs away with this one.
Yeah, Mufali's looking for next year.
Yeah.
One thing Mufali's got going for him is the possible return of Michael Thomas, maybe, in Week 5 versus the Chargers. And I think he could have a good game if he gets to play in that. But I'm going to go BP in this, too. The website's predicting a close game, though, 172 to 170.
Nah.
Big part,
Jordan?
they're going to give him Trayvon Diggs 15 points, which is
I'll take the
BS.
D-Rig.
Yeah, I got the G-Reg as well.
The G-Reg.
Yeah. Easy peasy there.
And by the way, BP,
this
we got
matchup-
your sound drop, but we just haven't put it together yet. So, yes, stay tuned for that. It's actually a really good sound drop.
Yeah, but the link that I got it from, just freaking terrible. Absolutely. Like, I'm so embarrassed for Greg Olson after listening to that. Next matchup here, these lineups aren't actually set. Hashling and Slashers, that is Mondo. I think we got a sound drop.
We do have a sound drop. Let me get to it.
Jesus, Pam. You need to practice. And the Crazy Legs, Matt. So it's about a 22-point gap so far until they set their lineups. What do you guys think here? I mean, Matt is what, 3-1 so far, and Mondo has been surprising, not performing up to what we thought he would do this season.
yeah, his team had just, I don't know if it's luck, bad luck that is. I don't know what's going on. I mean, Tremaine Edmonds was hurt beginning part of the year. That destroyed him. Running back situation for him is not very good at the moment. Fred Warner's been a beast at times. T.Y. Hilton? T.Y. Hilton. I'm actually not even sure. Let's click on it.
No, it's
He
not good.
sucked. He has been garbage. Way worse than last year because I had him. Yeah, honestly, I know Matt hasn't set his lineup yet.
I'm going, man.
I'm gonna go Matt in this for sure. Yeah, Matt's going to an easy
Yeah.
4-1.
I agree. Although what's interesting is Matt has only scored 3 more points than Mondo, but he's got 2 more wins because Mondo has just been scored on galore this season. But yeah, I'm gonna pick Matt. I'm
Yeah.
gonna pick Matt in that. His team's a little more stable there. Billy. So this is Billy Ray versus Maria. The line
It's
is
crazy,
set
Mike.
yet.
What'd you
What?
say, Jordan?
He said, "I'll take the crazy legs."
I'll take the crazy
Oh,
legs.
Jordan. I'm so sorry, Jordan. He's so quiet back there. I just forget that he's here. See, I haven't been on the show with him for the last 2 weeks like you guys have.
I know.
He's being mean.
Uh, Billy Ray versus Maria. Maria's 3-1. Billy Ray 2-2. Falling off a little bit since losing Christian McCaffrey and trading away CEH. I think he started Devonta Freeman, in fact, the last couple of weeks. What do you guys think here? What are your thoughts?
Man, you know what's funny? I wish you guys could see this. I'm looking at a picture of Justin Herbert. It highlights a player for each matchup on the website, and I swear, if you shaved and like slicked your hair back, this would be you. You could be Justin Herbert for Halloween if you wanted to.
First and foremost, like I don't have near the amount of acne that Justin Herbert's got. Like, get the freak out of here.
The amount of what?
He said acne.
Oh God.
You know what? This is going to be an interesting game, though. No joke. I think Devontae Freeman is, eventually he's going to get his legs underneath him. Justin Herbert versus Brees. I'm giving to Herbert. Overall, though, I'm going to give it to. Honestly, you can give it to Detroit Bad Boys. Honestly, Maria not having Christian Kirksey is going to hurt her this coming week. And there's no telling. He's on IR, actually, so he's probably not coming back for at least another 3 weeks.
I'm gonna take Maria. She's gonna put. I think she's gonna be fine with Devin Bush in her lineup.
What's interesting is they've played each other twice. Ooh, I don't have the sound drop, so that was good.
Sound drop. I know we don't.
But no, they played each other twice before. 2016, Maria won 179 to 89, and then 2017, Detroit Bad Boys won 281 to 226. So someone's got to break the series here.
Maria scored 100 more points than Billy this year, so that's 25 points a game more. I'm gonna go with Maria in this matchup.
Yeah, I got Maria. Who you got, Jordan?
I take she's the man.
She's the man.
Colby versus Sunday Funday. I think this is Brandon. Colby, ever
Not
since
even
that week 1 little thing there with the stat change, has been completely on fire. I think he's probably like 4th, 5th right now in league scoring. Traded for CEH, traded for Dak Prescott recently, so should be able to score even more points. And Sunday Funday is not making any memorable impression. I can't think of one game that he's played in against anybody. And outside of Amari Cooper, there's not a ton of talent on that roster, so this is easy for me. This is Colby.
Yeah, same here.
I truly believe Colby might be the best team now, overall, with the moves he's made, and he's really been one of the more outside of like Mufali, but Mufali's going in the opposite direction. He's been one of the more active owners, and I definitely think he's going to run away with this one. And this might be one of the more lopsided games you see.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What about you, Jordan?
Jordan?
Colby.
Colby. One word.
One word, quick and simple. All right, Dirty Mike and the boys. Play a sound drop, Pat.
Let's do it. Oh, you know what? I don't have his loaded.
It's not on there.
Oh
my God.
Jesus.
I'm gone for a few weeks, and the whole thing just falls
I know.
to shit.
I know.
Sorry, guys.
I know. I
Can't even have a baby without
You
you.
can't
guys.
even. You can't.
Ruining
You
it.
should never have a baby again after this. You're ruining the show.
Oh,
No,
I'm
just
not.
kidding.
Trust me. After how tired I am, we're done.
I thought.
Um,
I
Dirty
thought
Mike and the boys.
1-3,
Huh?
1-3. Two 1-3 teams.
Yeah, unusual year for you, Pat. You guys, it should be fairly close. I think when Mike sets his lineup. But Mike is the lowest team in power rank in the year so far. He's one of the lowest scoring teams. In fact, interesting fact that we were talking about off the show. There's only 2 teams in the league who have not scored 200 points yet in a game, 200 points or more, and it's both of these teams playing in the matchup together. So the math would say this might be one of the lowest scoring games of the week. Sorry, Pat.
It's all right. I wouldn't blame anyone for picking against me or picking us to have one of the lowest scoring games in overall points. I'm actually gonna, in a very uncharacteristic move, it's just not working out for me. I'm gonna pick myself to win. I'm not gonna pick the other team. I'm gonna pick myself. And any history between us? Let's see. Absolutely. 2017, I beat him week 3, 273 to 177. Got to extend that lead, baby. Got to get to 2-0.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that as well.
Yep. Me too. Jordan?
I'll take the Leprechauns to take out Mike and his boys.
And his boys.
All right. Burrow's body count and the Spurs playing here in week 5. The Spurs projected to win by a very healthy 32 points. Burrow's body count 3-1. Cameron 1-3. Got his first win last week over Jordan. And the Aaron Rodgers Monday night comeback with 52 points. Neither one of these teams are doing what we thought they were going to do in the offseason. Obviously, Burrow's body count a lot better. Cameron not where we thought he would be. But what do we expect out of them in week 5?
I think the big thing, Cameron not having Aaron Rodgers is going to hurt. I mean, Joe Burrow's actually had a very good year and is actually a QB1 at the moment. Not just like QB1 meaning like a top 24 quarterback in our league. I mean like a top 12 quarterback in our league. So he's doing good. Kirk Cousins, I don't feel super great about that. And Mike Davis has actually been a stud for the most part and should be able to keep track of Derrick Henry all day long against the Bills. That's a terrible matchup for Henry. I'm going to pick Burrow's body count in this.
I'm going Burrows too, but I honestly don't even think Derrick Henry is going to be allowed to play because I don't think Tennessee's going to be allowed to play.
Yeah, that's true. And
yeah, that game might get canceled.
Burrow's body count now having Miles Jack. Sorry, it's going to hurt him too.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Burrow's body count here. He's had a more reliable season so far. And to Cody's point, I'm not sure Derrick Henry plays.
That's his 2 best players out.
Yeah.
And I don't see OBJ putting up what would he put up 50 something?
63.
Yeah, I don't see that happening again. Not on that Indy secondary.
Yeah.
No. OBJ's been very unreliable, inconsistent, up and down. Jordan, who are you picking?
I'll take the body count.
All right. And here's a game. Jordan, Afternoon Delight, Pat.
I got to do it again. There's a lot of history here.
Versus
There's
the
a
Steel Curtain.
ton.
Cody, yeah.
You're talking about 12 games between these guys. 12 games. And Jordan leads the series 7-5. It's crazy. I'm looking. I wish you guys can't see unless you go back and watch the video. Everyone else listening to this can see it right now, but it's been back and forth. It's been streaky at times, don't get me wrong. Jordan won 4 straight for a while. Cody won 3 straight for a while. But the past 2 times, it's been back and forth. Jordan won the last one, week 11 of 2018, 355 to 309. And you guys have played in the playoffs twice. Didn't know that till now. Week 2017 and 2014.
I won 17.
Yep.
You won 14.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
I'm
Are you
excited
gonna?
for this one.
You guys
This
should
is
bet. You guys should
old
put something on
school.
the line here. You should bet on this between the
I
two
think
of you.
we're both in the thought process of putting the worst lineup out there, and not just we both want the same guy, so no, I'm just joking. We have been joking about that, but like it's all joke aside. We're gonna put the most competitive lineup out there.
I feel like losers should have to wear like a Gamecock T-shirt or something the rest of the week.
That doesn't make sense, Patrick.
That doesn't make sense. It would just be funny to watch the other one suffer a little bit.
What? He would have to suffer too, or I would have to suffer just by staring at that crap.
It's just not good for anybody.
Yeah.
Carolina fans don't even want to be Carolina fans right now.
That's
like
true.
it's
I don't
bad.
even want to. I don't even want to watch this play.
Like I've literally seen Carolina fans on Twitter like about to commit suicide, man. Like it's getting bad.
It is getting bad.
But
so who wins this game between the old rivals, best friends, buddies, pals, rivals,
Best
competitors?
cousins.
Who wins it?
I'm
You guys are cousins?
gonna say the Delights.
The Delights. Ooh, it's a hot take.
Cody?
I'm gonna call horseshit, and I'm gonna go with the steel curtain. Obviously, we're gonna make it a 7-6 ball game, and we're gonna try to come tied in a couple years. Maybe we're tied in the playoffs. Who knows?
Yeah.
Very fun. I look forward to that one. Vegetarian Storm 165 projected with Lebatard Lobos 146. It should be a very close game when the lineups are set. Storm, what is Storm's record so far? I think he's actually doing.
He's 1-3.
Well, right?
He's 1-3.
Okay, not doing well.
And Lebatard Lobos are 1-3. Now Storm though, point wise, he's doing very good. He's averaging 199 points a game. So he's had some terrible matchups, honestly.
Yeah,
I'll pick Storm on this one.
I think Kareem's gonna be nice for him this week.
Yeah, Kareem's gonna have the whole backfield to himself. He's gonna go off. He's gonna have a really good week.
I'll pick Storm. I never thought I would say that very often, but I'm gonna pick Storm.
We're talking about Storm? That's right. Here we go.
I'm gonna get it all up in your vag.
There we go. There we go. Storm's going to get it off in that vag this week against Lebatard Lobos. I think he's going to win this.
Shoot, man. Shoot.
Shoot.
I'm going to go with Storm too. I think it's going to be pretty close. I like Lebatard's, but I like his matchups, honestly. And I think there's a couple guys on his bench that obviously I'd probably put Gibson in because he's got AP in, but I think Gibson could have a nice game versus the Rams. And he's been starting to get the workload for that, so I think that's big for him. It just his quarterback's awful. I don't like Phillip.
Yeah.
I agree.
But, yeah, I'm going to go with Storm as well in a close one.
Cool.
Jordan?
I'll take the Vegetarians.
Mama.
All right.
Jameson, we can't forget about your game, though.
No, it's the last one here. So I'm playing Michael. I've looked at this.
It's a classic.
So I'm very familiar. Yeah, a classic.
They never played each other. Yeah.
Austin Eckler's out. Matthew Stafford's on a bye. Preston Smith's out. His backup running back is on a bye. I mean, he's going to have to do a lot of work on the waiver wire just to fill out a roster here, a lineup for the week.
Looking good for you, my friend.
Yeah, for real.
Do what?
5-0.
It's looking good for you.
Yeah, it should be. It should be pretty easy to go 5-0 here. We don't have to spend too much time on it.
No, this is. I wish I could. Why can't I get these matchups? I got to go against the guys who like break the record for the season so far in scoring. Like Michael is like, I don't even know. It's like I had to fight like I can't Conor McGregor, and then Jameson's fighting a crack whore down the street at a Krispy Kreme parking lot. Like it's not even fair. It's not even the same level.
In all fairness, I am like top 5 in scoring, so it's not like I'm just like getting all these bad matchups or anything.
No.
But, yeah, I mean, I've had some lucky breaks, so I'm not gonna lie. But I'm still 4-0. I'll take it.
Can't beat that.
All right, guys. I think everyone did pretty. Anything else you want to cover before we jump off? We're done. No?
I can't think of anything else. Trade deadline is coming up. For those that don't know, week 8 for players, and then week 7 for draft picks. So if Mafali, if you're out there listening, man, get a couple more rounds of trades going on. All right, you're running out of time. You're only gonna get like 20 more trades between now and week 8. So make sure you get to working.
I'm not even gonna lie. I don't even feel like y'all picked me in Jordan's game.
I didn't get to. Jameson cut me off because he's really rude. No, I actually didn't. No, I really didn't pick. Jordan hasn't set his lineup. That's.
Yes, he has.
Yes, he has. Well, let me. I would refresh my browser. I'm afraid it'll screw everything up.
All right. Well, while you're talking, Pat, it's 169 projected to Jordan, 172 projected to Cody. So 3 points is all it is.
Okay, I'm going Afternoon Delights.
Wrong move.
Wrong move.
I'm going to go with Jordan. I'm going to go with Jordan as well.
Holy moly!
All right, all right.
I can't wait till next week, baby. I'm gonna get off in that bad. No, I'm just kidding.
If Cody wins, we'll come on the show next week and apologize.
Yeah, we will.
I'm gonna wait
I'll bring the baby on the show, and she can apologize for me.
Well, you better look I don't see that baby. I will punch her in the iron like ass. No. All right.
Oh man, it's been fun. It's been fun being back on here with you guys, man. I missed it.
Well, we missed you.
That's so sweet. I hope to be back on next week. If not, I'll let you guys know. But that's it. That's it for the show, guys. We're done. Pat, you want to play us out?
I'll send us out. Here we go.
See ya.
Bye.
Oh, that's wrong. What the?
See you guys later.
For only $5 a day.
You get to
One reach out.
All right. We'll see y'all later.